Okay, so now we have our workflow in a way that it can create this one row in a Google Sheet with the score of the lead. And now based on that score, what we want to do next is we want to add an if condition. So besides saving it, we're going to put that there. We want to do one more thing. I'm going to just minimize this. We want to add one more workflow in here, and that workflow is going to be a condition. If you type if, here you can give a condition, and basically you don't need the condition to be true, so therefore you can snap it like this. In any case, it's going to add it into the Google Sheet, but in only one case, if the value of this lead score is greater than 8 number, then it will go on with the next step. This is again an area where you copy paste this little code that I have produced, and then from here you need to choose a number is greater than. So basically this part is taking care of all, or this piece of code is taking care of all the edge cases that this number can have. Can it be a number? Can it be a string? Can it be not available? Because it is generated by an LLM and it can hallucinate, it can have different parts. So it basically produces all the possible use cases in this case. Or it's kind of like checking if it's not a number, then convert them to number. If not, then put a 0 and so on and so forth. So once you put that in, then you see that this if condition has 2 branches, one for true, if that is true, one for false, if that check that you have done is false. What is basically this checking is it, or kind of like if iQuality lead. If it's true, then you are going to send a Slack notification. If it's false, you're not going to do anything. So in case of true, you click on plus sign, and then in here you type on Slack, and then you would want to send a message, type send. From here, authenticate your Slack and then send a message. A message will go to a user, and that user will be yourself. In my case, I'm just picking myself. It's a message, and then the message could be something to do with, for example, iQuality lead detected. I'm just making a point. And then this has to be in expression mode, and then here we're going to put some data. Where's that data coming from? From the previous nodes, because the previous nodes have not yet been executed, therefore you do not see this data in here. Now if you switch this from there to AI agent, you see this data, and from there you can click on schema, and then you have access to all these data fields that you can drag and drop in here. All I need is something unique that I can identify from that Google Sheet that I have, and then go and check it out. I think that's pretty much what I'm looking for. Save it. Maybe I would also want to send some more information. You can also click on this execute previous node so that you can get all the data, and then I can also put this lead score. I'll call it lead score, and then in here the email, so I can uniquely identify it, and here reason, the LLM reason, so I can see a message, something similar to this. You can also click on this little icon in order to maximize it so that you can see and write this in a greater format. So I will see a message something like this in my Slack if the lead has a score of more than 8. So now my workflow is done. If I execute it this time, then you can see that it goes through all of those routes, and I got a Slack notification, which should be in my Slack right now. There we go. The HQL detected, and all the messages and so on is in here. And that way I can create an alert so that I can go and follow up with my lead. This brings us to the end of the simple workflow. In the next video, we're going to enhance it in order to find a time slot that is available on our calendar. From here onward, I have a small advice that if we go back to this workflow, so you can keep this kind of like secret in your workshop, kind of like this entire section. Even in the demo section, you may or may not give this demo section, or when you give it, then you identify it clearly that, hey, this is the advanced part, this is the basic part. If time allowed, we're going to go there, otherwise we're going to stop here. And then depending on your progress, especially with that agenda in mind, if you haven't finished at 1 p.m. all of these things, imagine if the before noon is simple, in the afternoon you do the actual advanced form, then that's fine. If you ran out of time and you could barely catch up to do all of the simple form until in this area, then you can refer them to my tutorial series, this YouTube tutorial series that you have access to, and then you say that you can learn the rest of them from that YouTube video, and then you carry on to the next lecture. But since we are here on asynchronous learning, it's not an in-person workshop, so let's go to the next lecture and learn how to do the advanced part of this workflow.